on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. Kickoff now just moments away. It is finally time to crown a champion, as I'll hand it over to the two men who will call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the six-time Super Bowl champs from the AFC, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, excited for this one. I mean, Charles, the Steelers back in the Super Bowl once again, their 9th appearance overall, second only to the Patriots' 11. But if the Steelers win this one, then they'd be on top of the all-time win standings, as it would be their 7th title.
What a franchise. Come on, join me for a minute, okay? Come back to the 1970s with me. Back to the steel curtain defense. Back to Terry Bradshaw quarterback. Throwing to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. Franco Harris running the football with Rocky Blyer. That team was something, all right? And that started the path to where we are right here, right now. This team's pretty good, too. And they want their own history. What an accomplishment this would be to win a 7th Super Bowl title for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Meanwhile, the Minnesota Vikings are back in the big game for the 5th time in franchise history. But we all know one thing has eluded them all these years.
And that's an actual Super Bowl victory, partner. They're 0-4 in their previous visits. Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. And, boy, they had some great teams, too, didn't they? Bud Grant was their head coach. Fran Tarkenton, a quarterback. Alan Page and the Purple People Eaters on defense. They were all Hall of Famers. And don't forget Paul Krause. He's a very proud member of that great secondary they had. So we're going back more than 40 years since their last visit. You think the state of Minnesota's excited about this one? I know they are. They're ready to get this one going.
The first Super Bowl of the new decade, Super Bowl 54, is underway. This is fielded a couple yards, and he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Ben Roethlisberger leading out the Steelers, and Ben making his 4th Super Bowl appearance. He and the Steelers winners in Super Bowls 40 and 43 before falling to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in Super Bowl 45. All told, Ben with 3 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions in those 3 appearances.
All right, now, like 80. Mike 54. I got wide.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
So let's all work together on this one, because it's natural to just watch the football. I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
White 80. Mike's by 4. All day, every day, any day.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff, and Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage and also cover deep.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Mike, 230. Mike 54. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Roethlisberger on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
Let's go.
Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Kirk Cousins leading out the Vikings. Remember, the Minnesota Brass shelled out the big money to bring in Cousins a couple of years ago because they wanted to make it to this very game. They brought him in from Washington, and Cousins has him on the biggest stage in all of football, ready to go, trying to win their first ever Super Bowl. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I got one.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Cook, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Let's go.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Get him.
Cousins gives way to Cook. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. This is taken at the 15. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one will swab lineman, will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they're backed against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Now Cook. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Throwing is Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, baby.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman of the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Come on now, let's go.
And that one results in 35 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Right there. Black 20. 54 Mike. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Tight down. There you go. Kill.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Watch the run. Big edge.
First down. Here's Cousins. And that's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
It's soft, baby. That's baby soft.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
At the point yet, flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Here's Roethlisberger. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Blue 30.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight. As we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
All day, baby, all day.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Come on, D.
Throwing, Cousins. Complete, it's Johnson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
To Hunt. 180. 98 to Mike. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. To Hunt.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Let go.
Obviously, they're not where they want to be. That'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw, Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field.
Quarter, they only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. First carry for James Conner. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen!
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Give them 22 yards, and that...
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On second down, Samuels trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play's supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
Not easily done.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Here we go. Here we go.
The end result, 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Bud Dupree charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They go play action. Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on fourth down. Now Cousins on fourth down. And that is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. This is Connor, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch 54. You ain't doing nothing.
Again, a run with Connor. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger. He gets this one to Johnson. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
Get ready. Get ready.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Blue 30. Right there. 54 Mike. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Right back to Connor here on first. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout.
All right, now, black 30.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to...
Certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.